And then there were two this morning. A manhunt continues for the remaining inmates still on the run after escaping a New Orleans jail nearly 2 weeks ago now. New body camera footage shows the moments two other escapees were recaptured after a high-speed chase with police in Texas. Again, of the original 10 who made that daring escape, 8 are now back in custody and 2 remain on the lam. Joining us now is Jason Williams, District Attorney of Orleans Parish. And Jason, I know you are incredibly busy, especially with this case ongoing. Antoine Massey, one of the inmates still at large, we're learning an associate, has now been taken into custody by Louisiana State Police. They've asked the media not to disclose the person's identity, but that's some of the latest information coming in on our end. What's the latest you can share on the investigation and just how sprawling it's become?
It has become sprawling. We've got very credible information about the areas that these individuals are now. These last two, I believe, by all accounts, are considered to be the most dangerous of the 10. Mr. Groves, as you're aware, was convicted of a double murder. We had to try the case twice. I prosecuted it myself. Mr. Massey has escaped from multiple facilities. And they're both considered armed and dangerous, but we're very close. And that circle is tightening very, very quickly. And I believe they're going to be captured soon. So
the circle is tightening, but it also sounds like the scope or the location could be broadening in terms of crossing state lines. The local sheriff in Natchez, Mississippi, says he doesn't believe that Antoine Massey is there. There were unconfirmed reports of sightings of him there. Do you believe that these last two inmates are somewhere outside Louisiana? It has been well over a week since they broke out.
I think there's a good chance that they're still inside in Louisiana. It is difficult to navigate spaces without being documented, either by crime camera, social media footage. The AG has spread the word and photographs to the surrounding states. Individuals, family members of these individuals who have helped are realizing there's a dear cost to aiding and abetting. That is changing the narrative very much. And I believe that they're still in Louisiana, and I believe that we're going to catch them.
How many alleged accomplices are you guys now looking to bring charges against?
Well, that number is growing every single day, and it appears to grow every night. My OSINT team, open source intelligence team, basically digital forensics, has been scouring through hours of jail calls, listening to who they were talking to in the days and weeks leading up to the escape. It's led to arrest of fugitives. It's led to the arrest of people who are assisting. And I think it's going to help us track down these last two.
The U.S. Marshal's Office also said tips from the public have been helping police to recapture at least 3 of the inmates this week. How are authorities managing all the information that's coming in, and what kinds of tips are you getting?
So the public is absolutely the sixth man on this entire endeavor, which is why it's so problematic that the sheriff didn't ring the alarm at 1 a.m. when this occurred, so the public on its way to work could have helped. Likely they would have been captured by now if she had. But the tips are coming in terms of an Uber driver believed that he had one individual in the back of his car. He was able to show the U.S. Marshal Service where he picked him up, where he dropped him off, described who was with him. There's also people who are providing misinformation as well. So it's important to synthesize this with our digital forensics to make sure that we're actually getting accurate information. There's some members of the public who are trying to throw us off the tracks of these individuals, but there's a lot of good people who realize how important it is that they do their part, and I can't thank them enough.
You mentioned the sheriff who oversees the jail that was where these inmates escaped. She announced that she's suspending her re-election campaign, calling the jailbreak a failure. Some have called for her resignation. What do you think? What does accountability look like?
I think accountability looks like having all 10 of these individuals back in custody, prosecuted for the new crimes they've committed, and prosecuting anyone who's helped them because they put the public at risk and put us in grave danger. What happens with the sheriff? That's something that the electorate has to decide. This is an utter failure of leadership, of management. Some sheriffs have the responsibility of policing a county or a parish, as well as overseeing the jail. Her only job is care, custody, and control of the inmates in that facility. And the fact that they didn't have eyes on to realize that these individuals were on the first floor and got out of that pod for hours is horrific. And I believe the public is going to deal with that.
Orleans Parish District Attorney Jason Williams, we really appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing the very latest on this investigation.